Right now at noon, city leaders in Sun Prairie are turning to the community when it comes to the rebuilding process following last week's deadly gas explosion. Some members of Congress want the president to hold Russia responsible for election meddling as they push for details of his one-on-one meeting with Vladimir Putin be made public. Plus, it's time to celebrate our county with a little fair flair. What's new at this year's Dane County Fair?
This is News 3 at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Kane. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 on this Thursday afternoon. We'll get to those stories in a bit. But first, meteorologist Dave Caulfield is over in the Weather Center with their first alert forecast. And I'm looking at that radar behind you, a little green popping up.
Yep, rain is on the way. It's getting closer and closer to southern Wisconsin. We could use a little bit of that rain, but over the next couple of days, a slow-moving low-pressure system will encompass pretty much all of southern Wisconsin, bringing us some scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. You can see on Doppler track where the bulk of that rain is now, just off to the south and west, but some light showers trying to extend into Platteville right now. Right now in Platteville, though, maybe just a few raindrops falling. That's about it. Temperatures are in the mid-70s. Some of us, though, closer to that rain, have already dropped into the upper 60s. So this rain is cooling some of us down. Dew points are not really that bad. We're still in the upper 50s and low 60s, very tolerable. Actually feels pretty comfortable outside. Wind speeds, though, they are a little bit gusty out of the south and east at about 15 miles per hour for some of us. Your forecast first, temperatures in the 70s this afternoon, falling into the mid-60s by tomorrow morning with scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. We'll try and time out those chances and talk about rain totals as we head into this weekend in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
We could use some rain.
Yes.
A little dry out there. All right, Dave, we'll check back in a few minutes. Topping the news today, crews in Reedsburg shut off gas after a contractor struck a gas pipe. According to Alliant Energy, one of their contractors hit a gas pipe which may have been part of a road project. They say there are some evacuations at a mobile home park and some area businesses. They do not expect anyone to be without service, and there are no reports of fires or injuries. The city of Sun Prairie wants anyone who lives, works, or travels through the downtown area to share their thoughts on how to rebuild it in a public meeting. Sun Prairie city leaders hope to put a timetable together today on how long it could take to rebuild Highway 19 and this Main and Bristol Street intersection. They're hosting a public information meeting in the city council chambers this evening at 5:30. Last week, Governor Scott Walker pledged that the state will help rebuild the roadway. Now the DOT will talk about how long it could take to rebuild and answer questions from people who live in town and local businesses as well. Sun Prairie Mayor Paul Esser said that rebuilding the highway is an important step in allowing his city to move forward.
I think rebuilding this is going to be an indication that Sun Prairie is moving on. We're moving forward. So as soon as we can get it done, I would like to see that happen.
There are multiple fundraisers taking place for the victims of the Sun Prairie explosion. Right now, Hertz Donut in Middleton is selling Sun Prairie Strong Donuts to raise money for the victims of last week's explosion. The donuts are $3 each, and 100% of the proceeds will be donated to the Sun Prairie Disaster Relief Fund. And we'd like to take a moment again to thank everyone who contributed to our day-long telethon Tuesday to keep Sun Prairie strong. Thanks to you, more than $163,000 was raised for the Bank of Sun Prairie's Disaster Relief Fund. It will all stay in the community of Sun Prairie. The president's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin continues to unravel in Washington. This morning, President Trump tweeted that the Russia summit was a success and called the media, quote, the real enemy of the people. He also announced he wants a second meeting with Putin. President Trump sat down with CBS Evening News anchor Jeff Glor for an exclusive interview yesterday and acknowledged Putin is to blame for Russian meddling in the U.S. election.
You haven't condemned Putin specifically. Do you hold him personally responsible?
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
Details of the president's one-on-one meeting have not been made public, but Democrats are trying to subpoena the interpreter who was in the room to find out what was said. Firefighters in Oregon are trying to get a deadly wildfire under control. The fire burning in the northern part of the state. One person was found dead yesterday near a burned tractor. Firefighters say it looked like the person was trying to create a fire line with the tractor to keep flames from spreading. Oregon isn't the only state dealing with wildfires. We have a map showing all of the states out west currently experiencing wildfires. Here's that map now. The 12 Thai boys and their soccer coach, who were trapped in a cave for more than 2 weeks, spent their first day out of the hospital doing some of their favorite things. The boys playing soccer, spending time with family, and eating their favorite foods. CBS visited with Adun at the church in Thailand, where he's lived for almost 10 years. Adun's life has been difficult even before the cave. He is stateless, not a citizen of Thailand or any other country. His parents slipped him out of Myanmar into Thailand nearly a decade ago to escape ethnic conflicts. The parents are still in Myanmar. One of the first things Adun did when he got back to church, eat his favorite food, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
How does it feel to be back?
Yeah, very happy.
The coach and 2 other soccer players are also stateless. A county fair with a city flair. The Dane County Fair kicks off its 167th year today. The annual event is back at the Alliant Energy Center, expected to draw 40,000 people throughout the next 4 days. The fair is an annual tradition for many local families, but there are several new entertainment options to enjoy this year.
This year we're featuring canines in flight, so it's a stunt show put on by rescue dogs, as well as Monomaniacs, which is an acrobatic stunt show using motorcycles. So a lot of free entertainment with paid admission.
Tickets are $8 a day, and the fair opens each morning at 9 o'clock. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Need a big tasting summer side dish? Look no more, because our Texas law is as good as it gets. I bet if you asked 10 people how they make their coleslaw, you'd probably get 10 different answers. That's because there's so many different dressings and things that can be mixed into it. Today, I thought I'd share a Texas-style coleslaw that's big on taste and crunch. For this one, we start by adding equal amounts of white vinegar and vegetable oil to a bowl. along with a bit of lime juice, sugar, cumin, ground red pepper, and a little salt and pepper. We whisk that together and set it aside. Now, after placing a package of coleslaw mix in a large bowl, we add some red and yellow bell pepper that we've chopped, a thinly sliced jalapeno, and a bunch of freshly chopped cilantro. All that's left to do is pour the dressing over the veggies, give it a good mix, and it's ready to serve. And if you've got a bit of time, it's even better if it's chilled. If you're wondering what makes this Texas style, you'll know exactly after one forkful. I mean, it's hard to miss the big Texas flavor mixed in with all those crunchy veggies. To get the recipe for our Texas slaw, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a big and bold way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
All right, Howard, thank you. Coming up on News 3 at noon, meteorologist Dave Caulfield is out on the weather patio. He'll have a look at the first alert forecast when we come back. Well, a weekly snapshot of the job market shows significant improvement, and non-dairy milk is stirring up a new debate. Diane King Hall has more in today's Money Watch report.
The number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits falls to the lowest level since 1969. According to the Labor Department, first-time filings for weekly jobless claims fell by 8,000 to 207,000 last week. Car buyers are in the market for vehicles that help them drive better. According to a new Consumer Reports survey, 51% of U.S. drivers say they want their next vehicle to have a rear-view camera or backup warning signal. Another 45% say they want blind spot warning technology. People were less excited about driverless technology. Only 11% of those surveyed say they would be interested in a vehicle that automatically brakes, accelerates, or steers. Domino's delivers better than expected earnings, but sales fell short. The pizza chain says profit totaled $77.4 million during its second quarter. One restaurant industry analyst expects Domino's to benefit from the fallout surrounding Papa John's. Its founder, John Schnatter, resigned after it was revealed he used a racial slur during a media training session. And soy and almond milk may need to find a new name. The Food and Drug Administration signaled it may begin to enforce federal standards that define milk as coming from the milking of healthy cows and not plant-based alternatives. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrials down 92 points. The NASDAQ off 22. Let's check in now with Q106 Farm Director Pam Yaki. I'm sure Wisconsin dairy farmers would like that almond milk not called milk.
Oh, the whole dairy industry's been pushing hard on that one, Mark. We've seen about a 30% increase in that particular beverage segment as far as grocery store sales. So it's a big part of the market, but it's also cutting into our fluid milk sales. I know Wisconsin Senator Tammy Baldwin's been pushing FDA to enforce. Wisconsin Ag Secretary Sheila Harvsdorf fired off a letter to FDA this week asking them to enforce existing laws. We'll wait and see how much of a bite they put in on their enforcement. So the markets today, as far as Wisconsin's concerned, pretty steady. I think everybody's kind of keeping an eye on the sky to see where that rain's going to be coming in. We did get some updates on how the Wisconsin winter wheat harvest is coming along. Our small grains are looking pretty good across most of the state of Wisconsin. Doug Kropp, the grain merchandise manager with Landmark Services Cooperative down in Evansville, said they have noticed a little bit of a glitch with some of our winter wheat. You need what we call a test weight, which signifies the quality of the wheat that's being harvested. He said we're coming in a little bit below our 5-year average this year, between 55 and 57 pounds on the test weight. 58 is what they ideally shoot for when it comes to the end use as far as the quality is concerned. So a little bit of an issue there. And vomitoxin popping up in some areas around southern Wisconsin. Not as big as what we had a couple years back, but grain elevators are on alert. Reason I bring it up is our market prices are already so low compared to what it costs to put the crop in the field that we can't afford to be docked for something like a low test weight or vomitoxin, that's for sure. Dairy today in Chicago is going in opposite directions. Today, the barrel cheese is up 1.5 pennies at 131.5. 40-pound block cheese down 0.75 cents at 153 1/4. AA butter also 1/4 cent lower at 2.25 a pound. But I'm still seeing a pretty healthy split there between the barrel and block cheese prices, Mark. Maybe you'll have to grab Dave and a saw and meet me in my yard, and we'll find out how we can dissect a barrel cheese down to a block cheese and make all that money.
There you go. So you off to the fair?
I'm going tomorrow. I'm out there tomorrow and Saturday for my Farm Bay Boogie Tractor Parade on Saturday, and tomorrow night about 5:45 for the livestock auction. So I think I'll kind of wait and see what develops in the weather today and then be ready to put my fair bib on tomorrow and Saturday.
Yeah, not so hot like it usually is for the fair.
Oh, man, isn't that nice to see?
Yeah, it is indeed. All right. Hey, Pam, let's head out to the backyard patio. Dave is out there and waiting for the rain to come in.
Yep, we've noticed the clouds on the increase, Mark, that's for sure, across southern Wisconsin over the past couple of hours. Really not seeing a ton of rain just yet. Maybe some light drops closer to Platteville and Lone Rock, but that's about it as this low pressure system taking its time. And we could use a little bit of rain, folks. The U.S. Drought Monitor coming out today for Tuesday, and we actually see a little bit of dry conditions closer to Sheboygan. Much of Wisconsin still is in good shape because of all the rain that we have received in the month of May and June. But we still could use a little bit of that rain because we're about an inch to an inch and a half behind schedule across much of the upper Midwest for July, and that rain is on the way. Visible cloud track, you can see those clouds really on the increase since this morning. Doppler track showing the rain showers moving into far portions of southwestern Wisconsin, Dubuque, Iowa, Platteville, closer to Monroe at the present time. So some light raindrops possible over the next couple of hours, but our rain chances really start to go up into this evening and the overnight hours. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible as well. No rain in Madison right now, but we definitely notice the mostly cloudy skies on the Edgewater Skycam. Forecast high of 79, actually a little bit below normal for this time of year, and we'll enjoy the below average temperatures for the next 3 days or so, closer to normal for Sunday and Monday. And remember, on Monday, that's when temperatures, average temperatures that is, start to go down into the second half of the year. We'll see some more 70s next week as well. We're seeing 70s across much of southern Wisconsin this early afternoon. 75 in Madison, 75 in the Dell, 76 in Watertown, already down to 68 in Platteville with that rain-cooled air. Dew points are in the upper 50s and low 60s, so still not very humid outside, and it's going to take a little bit more humidity to get that rain to fully fall to the ground, which will happen this afternoon. Wind speeds are a little bit gusty out of the south and east at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, so we're not expecting really any severe weather with these showers and thunderstorms, although some locally heavy downpours with these scattered storms definitely possible over the next couple of days. So let's track this out on Future Track by the time we get to later this afternoon, looking at those showers and thunderstorms expanding a little bit farther to the north and east. And this is not a washout setup, folks. This low pressure system moves very slowly across the area over the next 2 to 3 days or so, bringing with it the pretty much ever-present chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. So this is a have the umbrella at the ready setup into tonight and for Friday as well. It's tough to pin down where these downpours will actually fall, but where they do, some heavy rain is possible. So about an inch to even in some spots close to 2 inches of rain possible as we head into Saturday. But again, don't put too much faith in those numbers because it really does depend on where these showers set up. There is that chance, though, as we head into the next couple of days. Then for Saturday and Sunday, we do have a slight chance of some showers, but it's much less than today and Friday. Monday and Tuesday, we're looking at temperatures dropping through the 80s into the 70s again. Tuesday and Wednesday should be nice and dry before more rain chances come our way by next Thursday. But this is some welcomed rain, and I know it's not the best timed rain with all the activities we have coming up this weekend, but I think most of Saturday and Sunday, while they may be a little bit cloudy at times, will actually be dry. So I wouldn't cancel any plans or planes this weekend, but just be in mind that we could have some showers and have that umbrella ready.
Yeah, grab the umbrella before we go to the fair, Maxwell Street days, any of that.
Or the plane.
Or the plane. Grab the plane.
Yes.
Thank you, Dave. There's more to come on News 3 at noon. Up next, Ash Collins from the Dane County Humane Society is here. We'll meet our pet of the week. It is Bear. Wait till you meet this little guy when we come back. Ash Collins from the Dane County Humane Society is here, and for Marissa DeGroot this week, with a little bear. Welcome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Tell us about this little guy.
So this is Bear. He is about 4 years old, and he is looking for a new home. We think he's a Pomeranian mix, but look at those ears, right?
It's just
Aren't
crazy.
they cute?
He is crazy.
We've called him the Muppet Dog at work, too. He just really looks like one.
He's an Ewok. And he was unfortunately surrendered.
So he was surrendered. We think he'd do really well in a nice, calm home. He seems to do well with older kids. He really likes treats, as you can see.
He's got a little back issue.
He does. So that's why I recommend that nice, calm home. He really gets along well with other small dogs. We have another small dog at the shelter that he really likes to play with. And so he'd do well with those smaller dogs, too, just to help make sure he stays nice and healthy.
Oh, that face. It's just too much.
I know.
So he likes little dogs, other little dogs?
He does. And he's a real cuddle bug, as you can see. He really loves to sit in laps and cuddle.
Well, who wouldn't look at that face? All right, you got a couple adoption events this weekend.
We do. So at the Mounds Middleton location on Friday from 4 to 6, we'll have a dog adoption event. And then on Sunday from noon to 4 at the Mounds in Fitchburg, we'll have a cat adoption event. So cats and kittens looking for homes there, as well as our main shelter will be open this weekend.
So just go to the Mounds and be a bunch of animals to check out. Last week, we had
Athena.
Oh, the little kitten.
She was adopted, I think, the same day.
She had one eye. Yeah, she lost an eye. Yeah, she was precious.
Yes.
Let's get Bear home. Look at that face.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
He's a sweet boy.
He is a sweet boy. All right, let's get Bear home. Go to the website, giveshelter.org for information on all the critters available. Ash, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get one final check of the forecast. Dave's over in the Weather Center.
We do have some rain showers on the way to southern Wisconsin. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, at least a chance, will be with us into this afternoon, tonight, and for Friday. So for this afternoon, thunderstorms will be developing, mostly cloudy skies with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s for highs. Will be falling to the 70s into the 60s by tomorrow with rain showers aplenty in the forecast. So have that umbrella with you.
Much needed rain. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.